if you haven't really convinced someone, or you're trying to be in this position of not being acquainted with someone, then you probably have not been convinced. And this is a scientific and political term that you haven't really taken a position that is majority or whatever freedom that you have. Even if you are not within majority or in a democracy, you can still be that one outlier or that crazy person and say that you can still achieve your goals, because sooner or later you can really flip the markets in your favor. Making sure that you have this ability to not be convinced by anyone or understand someone saying he isn't convinced is really a terroristic and euphemistic form of competition, which is harassment, because they don't want you to get some. If you wanted to see who would help you, they would sort of understand your position, and even if they did understand and didn't have time or the patience to say that they would help you, they would still be able to help you. But the lack of education and competency of the world is such that America's interest has to be number one, and they can just tell whoever their representatives should tell the leader they should sanction this country, they should commit a nuclear threat to the country, they should poverty threat this country, and they should invade them, because they see that the community members throughout the street are sort of not being convinced to have this ability to spend their money that they don't have. Many people don't have a lot of money and they don't care, so this is a capitalistic terrorist views that you should avoid, and this is why this channel might be beneficial to you, because that is ultimately competition. Now, more or less, if you see the ability to retain information or acquire information, it is your ability to decide on it. But many influencing psychological tips that have been studied would be a sort of harassment, and because it is studied, it is utilized, and it is not always in your best interest to follow these sort of technologies, including many other things that can affect you, like the really aesthetic appeal of a vehicle. Some people still like old vehicles, some people like new vehicles. It's not in your discretion to say something about them, it's just in your discretion to make money and be able to produce more and influence the economy without really harassing someone. But we see that the US government does it all the time, this harassment, so these community members think they could do the same thing too, which is a huge problem known as the human being complex I mentioned in the previous video. You can check that out. And if you are undesirable and disliked and people understand that, you should also hit the like and subscribe, because I made a video about that as well. Going back to whatever is about the ability to convince, that has to do with them not being able to do shit about it, and you are this person who is acquainted with no one and have this ability to influence people, and they're saying you're not convinced from my perspective of whatever perspective America's interest is, and you think America's interest is sort of a ability to harass him, and it is not, because you're not convinced of my ability. And they sort of have this harassment economy that they build by saying that you're not convinced, so they convince you into their economies, and once you see the information, if it's good or not, you take it into account, but you make it your own, because we know that many people throughout the world convey America's interests as being solely white majority, and you won't have a position, because they'll go around and make sure and surveil or police around the world and say with their vehicles and say, oh, that's not really American or Asian or Indian or African or Hispanic, that's more like American stuff, so we don't want you to get some, we're going to take that from you. And some usually inconsistencies of mediocrity engulfs you, and you have to redo your whole routine to figure out where you were before this harassing person who isn't caught by their job is now in position behind you with their motor vehicle traffic. Many people have this problem, and if you also have this problem, hit that like and subscribe, because all you can literally do is have an acquisition rebuttal and achieve your own goals. Thank you for watching. Hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.